Hey, Tom Fulmer here with National Drug Screening, and today we're going to be talking about tales from the bar. Yes, you heard that right, from the bar, the B-A-R. So I did a video a couple of years ago at a restaurant that was located not far from what was our office in a downtown area of Melbourne. And I had been going out to lunch different times of the day, and I started listening to some of the things going on and found out that a lot of people were drinking during lunch. And at first I just assumed that it was because people were on vacation, maybe they were off and they were hanging out. And then as I started hearing a few more things, I realized that many people were actually going back to work. Everything from construction to attorneys to people in banking. They were having just a beer, which may be fine, maybe not, depends on the person. But that wasn't all they were doing. They were doing shots, Red Bull with different mixers, Fireball, all kinds of different things. And it's just the things you didn't pay attention to. So what I've done recently is there's not as many bars open right now with some of the things going on, but when I have been out to restaurants who actually serve alcohol, I've been paying close attention to that, because whenever you have a situation like we've had with the COVID situation where people can't get out and they start coming out more, as soon as they can come out, they start drinking. And I started noticing things, especially at the Mexican restaurant. Margaritas tend to be very popular these days for professionals even. It was very interesting. So if you're an employer out there doing testing, you have people that are working for you, they're going out to lunch, you really do want to be careful and be observant about what's going on. That's why it's so important to have your supervisors and managers trained to recognize signs and symptoms of drug and alcohol abuse or misuse or inappropriate use, which would be this case. Somebody coming back from lunch late, somebody smelling of alcohol, they go to lunch, they're pretty uptight, they come back, they're all of a sudden relaxed. That might be a warning sign. So reasonable suspicion testing is going to be, our reasonable suspicion training is going to be very important for companies, especially as they start reopening, they start bringing in new employees. So something you should have your supervisors trained on, and not just once, but maybe on a recurrent basis, every year, every 2 years. There are some companies that do reasonable suspicion training for their management teams every 6 months, just because they want them to be able to recognize these things before they become issues. And remember, the goal is not to catch an employee. Although you want to protect your company from liability, you want to protect them from harming themselves, the goal is to help them. If they're going out and drinking while they're working, there's probably other things going on, and you want to be the one to be able to be there and not only protect your company, but be there to be assistance to them. Tom Fulmer with National Drug Screening. Check out our tools and resources on nationaldrugscreening.com, where you can purchase reasonable suspicion training, a live webinar that we do specifically for your company, an on-demand training course, and there's also reasonable suspicion checklists and guides that will just help you better understand what needs to happen in that kind of circumstance. You can also see a lot about trends, things that are happening right now that will directly affect you as an employer.